I'm Kibwe and Road Scholars starts right now. Every day in our little country, there are those who must clean up the tangled mess of motorists too lazy, too tired, or too stupid to realize that driving fast on wet roads under the influence of alcohol or improper overtaking can have terminal consequences for themselves, their families, and strangers. Over the past few weeks, we have tried on this program to highlight the need to exercise safety on the roads. Notwithstanding this attempt, over 300 persons have lost their lives as a result of accidents. The impact on our families has been devastating, to say the least. Some of the major causes of accidents include speeding, drunk driving, improper overtaking, disregard for road conditions, distractions like cell phones, loud music, overloading of vehicles. Speeding and careless overtaking are the main contributing factors in most accidents, and they could be avoided if drivers adhere to the traffic rules. We must ask the question, what really causes accidents? Accidents are caused by the interplay of human factors, vehicle factors, and road environment factors. The transport system is made up of three major components. 1. The road user, drivers, pedestrians, passengers. 2. The vehicle. 3. The road environment. A breakdown in any one or more of these components will significantly increase the risk of serious accidents.
There are four key elements to road safety in Jamaica: driver behaviour, the road infrastructure, law enforcement, and the legislative framework against which the law enforcement authorities work. If we start with the first one, driver behaviour, we need our drivers to understand what good defensive driving is and what good driving habits are. They need to wear seatbelts, they need to check their tyre pressures, they don't need to be drinking a beer while they're driving, they need to be in a good frame of mind when they are driving. If we move on to the next one, the road infrastructure. Is there something about our roads that is causing these accidents? And I know one of the significant initiatives that the private sector is supporting the government with is understanding where accidents are occurring, creating a database which records and maps where injuries are occurring on our roads so that we can identify and correct accident hotspots. If we then move to the legislative framework, we need to be enforcing the right laws. We know that you're not supposed to drink when you're driving, but there are other things. You must wear your seatbelt. You shouldn't be talking on a mobile phone while you're driving unless you have hands-free equipment. You probably shouldn't be listening to your iPod. So we need to have the right laws in place. And then finally, the question of law enforcement. We need enough well-trained police officers. They need to have enough patrol cars. They need to have enough speed radar equipment, and we need to have enough speed cameras so that the right laws can be enforced. And I think it's very important that corporate Jamaica supports the efforts of the government in these areas, because aside from the terrible suffering and tragedy, which is our primary concern, we need to stop that. I mean, the road accidents, there are so many of them that it affects all of us, it touches all of us. But in a pure business sense, speaking as the chief executive of an insurance company, a high number of accidents is just not good for business. It leads to very high claims costs, which means we have to put our premiums up, and for the driving public that isn't good. Because at a time when we're experiencing a significant economic downturn, having to pay more for your car insurance is not what you want at all.
We see it at every accident scene, mangled metal, and we know there is a cost for the replacement, along with the inconvenience of being without a vehicle for weeks or months. Accidents cause damage to vehicles, but there's also the human damage, loss of life, limb, total disability, and potential loss of income. Most causes of motor vehicle accidents are completely avoidable. Many people never recover from the trauma of an accident. So, how do we stop this carnage on our roads?
Basically, I think what we need to do is to educate the public on the use of the roadways, because a lot of the accidents are caused right at minor roads, intersections, coming from a minor onto major, it's speeding at the four-way stops. And I think it's because the discipline in using the roads cause a lot of the accidents.
Accidents do happen, but most are avoidable. We all have to do our part to reduce the number of deaths due to road accidents.
Presently, the Transport and Works Ministry is working assiduously to ensure that the below 300 project 2009 to 2011 is achieved. And this will be done by fully implementing the National Road Safety Policy. We are not happy that 2,577 Jamaicans have died on the roads over the period 2001 to 2007. Rest assured that in 2009 you will see the following measures instituted to further reduce traffic crashes across the island. 1. A sustainable breathalyzer program whereby the police will test all drivers involved in traffic accidents and aggressively monitor patrons who are attending and leaving places of entertainment. 2. A motorized traffic ticketing system which will remove all drivers from the road network who refuse to abide by the terms and conditions of the Road Traffic Act. 3. Deeper analysis of traffic accidents with a view to carrying out remedial engineering works and providing the Jamaica Constabulary Force with appropriate and reliable information to assist them in their road safety surveillance plan. 4. A modernized Road Traffic Act. 5. Revolutionary road safety public education and information campaigns geared towards creating dialogue, especially in the following areas: the elderly in the traffic environment, motorcyclist safety, pedal cyclist safety, fatigue, mobile phone usage while driving, protective devices, and night driving.
As drivers and road users, we must assume more responsibility and care, not because the law says so, but because it's a matter of life or death. Your vehicle is equipped with a number of safety devices, like seatbelts, but in the long run, it's you. You are the operator of the vehicle who has the responsibility to exercise complete control of a deadly weapon. Slow down, never drink and drive, and wear your seatbelt. Just before we announce last week's winners, who will receive $5,000 worth of petrol from Total, let's thank our sponsors. Our question last week was, how many seconds does it take for you to put your seatbelt on? Well, if you guessed 3 seconds, you're correct. Did you buckle your seatbelt during the past week? I hope so. Our winners are Marcus Golding and Mark Mullings. Congratulations. Guess what? There's more. For all our road scholars who have won, you are invited to participate in a special function in your honor. Give us your feedback on this program or send suggestions for topics you would like us to cover at roadscholars300@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Kibra Magan, and this has been Road Scholars.